If you just joining us right now, welcome. Thank you for hanging with us here at App Stupid, aka the Pit, where we get in, we get after it. We talked about Matthew Judon trying to get money out of the New England Tightwads. How that's going to work, we don't know. Also, we talked about USC. How good are they? Miller Moss, he's a Pitt favorite right now. This guy, he's a guy of his word. No matter who comes in the program, he's there because he committed. He signed on the dotted line. High five him. Then we talked about Georgia losing a four-star linebacking recruit to USC. High five them. Why Georgia isn't losing any sleep, and then who they've added on defense makes the Bulldogs even scary and a lock for the college playoffs. Now we're going to go ahead and talk some more college football. And the final story today, talking about Penn State. Yep, Penn State. We just got to be real about this. Are you buying Penn State making it to the college playoff system? Are you buying or selling? And this is out of Fox Sports and Joel Kyatt. The Nittany Lions, they failed to make the college football playoff in all 10 seasons and in the 4-team era. But they would have made it in 6 of the last 8 years had there been a 12-team college playoff. Okay, so there's that. But are you buying it? Really, are you really buying Penn State doing this? And the reason I'm pessimistic about the Penn State Nittany Lions is because the Big Ten has changed. So we'll get into their schedule we'll get into their schedule, and that's going to substantiate my take on why I think you shouldn't get your hopes up for the good folks in Happy Valley. Don't put yourself out there. Now, James Franklin, he's got his best recruiting class since he took that job. And when asked what's the best part of him being the head coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions, he said, and I quote, "First of all, obviously the history, the tradition, and the place, right?" I don't know, dude. Penn State. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. Like I said, if you talk about the place to be is Florida. The place to be is in the Gulf. The place to be is out there in Cali, the West Coast. For me, like I say. Shout out to them. So this is home for me. Now this is going back to Franklin. So this is home to me at a place that a lot of ways felt magical, to be honest, that I probably didn't think was realistic when I was coming up in this profession. So in a lot of ways, it's humbling. In plain English, this is my dream job, and I'm coaching like it's no promises. I can respect that. I'm saying this, I can respect that because you can't get lazy or you can't feel entitled. It's balls to the wall every day, 2 times on Sunday. Right. Every day, all day, and 2 times on Sunday. Sweet. And we'll get more into this piece when we come back from a quick 20 from an unofficial sponsor of the show. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, BK, have it your way, because you rule. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local Burger King. BK, have it your way, because you rule. So when we left off, we was talking about James Franklin's passion for the Penn State job. But, he's had his struggles. Franklin says, and I quote, "I struggled leaving Vanderbilt. I'm just a guy that's so loyal to the people and to the kids that I struggled leaving there. I remember being in my office, emotional and anything with my wife and my agent at the time, and really struggling to say goodbye to those kids," end quote. Another thing that makes him a favorite here in the Pit is when a guy is dedicated to the kids. He's not out here check chasing, and he's not selling wolf tickets to the kids so they can get him to come and bolster his check. You got to respect that about that guy. Again, he is a favorite here in the Pit. And I like that guy. Also, he's got some key additions to his staff. And when we go over that, we'll get into it with Andy Koltecki. And he's the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, Tom Allen from Indiana. Now, this is where I got to go ahead and throw a flag because Indiana, they wasn't a defensive juggernaut. And I'm an Indiana fan. Yes, I'm a Hoosier. I love Indiana. This is me, the crimson and white. Let's go, boys, in Bloomington. But under Tom Allen, we got smacked week in and week out. It was getting pretty hard to turn on the TV and root for Indiana at times. Then we let our quarterback go. He goes out to Washington and plays for the national championship. Again, I'm gotta calm down. I'm not getting triggered. Woosah, woosah. Pimps don't cry. That's why I'm not buying Penn State making it to the 12-team playoff. I'm sorry, you all. I had to go through a quick therapy session. That's how much I love my team. That's how much I love my state. All right. And analyze Frank Leonard, for example. He can be more hands-on, helping Phil Taltween along the offensive line. You have Mark Dupas, and he's previous Penn State University staff member who was Ricky Ray's wide receiver coach at Old Dominion and for 4 seasons before returning to an analyst role with the Nittany Lions in the offseason. And that's another good example. He can give Marquise Hagans a hand like Charles Walker did with Jawan Cedar and the running backs. Again, I'm 50-50, but we still haven't gotten to the schedule. We still haven't gotten to the schedule with Penn State. And we'll go ahead and wrap that up after we come back from a quick 18 from a rap album we're promoting this month. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, Rakim, God's Network, The Rebirth, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it's Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. God's Network, The Rebirth by Rakim. My favorites on the album is Be Ill with him and Corrupt the Master Killer. I Love International with Joel Ortiz and Kool G Rap. And then The Sign of 7 featuring Method Man and Prodigy. Shout out to Rakim, The Rebirth, in stores now. So when we talked about Penn State from the break, we were looking at their schedule. And that's what I wanted to go ahead and really go over. Because if you say that this is the year you make it, and this is how they painted it up on Fox Sports when Joel Kite, I'm just looking at this and saying, I don't buy it. So West Virginia, that's the opener. That's in West Virginia. Bowling Green at home, you should beat them. Kent State, you should beat them. Illinois at home, you should beat Illinois. The Fighting Illini are not going to stop you. Here's where you run into a problem. UCLA at home. Deshaun Foster and those dudes, they might beat you. They might beat you. USC in Cali, again, you might get beat by Lincoln Riley and those guys. Then you have on the October the 26th in Wisconsin. That game is on the road as well. You get Ohio State, the Ohio State, one of the most dangerous teams in college football outside of Georgia. Yeah, you get them at home. Then on the 9th, you have Washington. There's no rest for the Nittany Lions in that gauntlet. Then you get Purdue, which you can beat Purdue. The Boilermakers, they're in a rebuild, so they got to figure out who they are. Then you get Minnesota. Minnesota's sneaky good. That's on the road. So Minnesota, that's a sneaky good team on the road that nobody is really talking about. And we covered because they have a running back and they run the ball. And you might just be beat up from that schedule that happened in the middle of the season. Then Maryland, that's the season finale at home. You can beat them. That stretch that I told you about, the Nittany Lion fans that should have all of you all worried in Happy Valley, is from October the 5th through October the 12th. It's brutal. And you could get beat up and humbled by the time the Buckeyes come to town. USC is going to test you vertically, stretching the field, making it more of a one-on-one matchup in their favor. Then you roll into Wisconsin on the cusp of fall/winter. That's when the ground is very frozen, and when you get tackled, it starts to hurt a little bit more because ain't no give. Ain't no giving the ground anyway. But if you plan on grass versus turf, yeah, you start to feel those. Even the ones that don't hurt, they seem to sting a little bit. That's a bruiser game. In between the tackles, hard-fought war field goals. You could be, like I said, you get a few days rest, and then Ohio State comes to town to drop kick you. Wow. Coming to town to pick the bones after you've been beat up, demoralized in between the tackles. That's why I said I don't have faith in them getting into the postseason, not because they don't have the talent. It's mainly scheduling and rest. Look who you play at the time you're playing them. Look who you play at the time you're playing them. So this is not me indicting Penn State saying that they can't get it done and that this is a crock of crap. I'm just sitting here saying I don't see a way for them to get into the college playoff with a brutal schedule like that. That's unrelenting, week in, week out. You know, this isn't Xbox. This isn't Xbox. You can't turn a player up to 99 and then he don't get tired and he makes every tackle and he makes every catch. No, this is rest and recovery. This is you in a premier conference playing the best of the best. The only thing I see that you got out of playing this year was Michigan and Oregon. Everybody else is coming to town to give you the best. And you might get jab smacked, but I could be wrong. Happy Valley, get in here. Tell your boy what's going on. Is it more of the same or is it different? Also, that's the end of the show. As always, thank you all for tuning in. I love all of you all. Stay safe on the weekend. We will see you bright and early on Monday morning. This is Big Vern. App Stupid. Drop the spot.